My guest today is Vala Afshar. Vala is the Chief Digital Evangelist at Salesforce, and I'm going to ask him what he thinks the future of digital business might look like in the world after COVID.
Well, if there's one lesson from 2020, it may be that every company needs to be digital. We've had an incredible acceleration towards the world of digital based on this, seismic event. And in some ways, I don't think we're going to go back ever again.
What do you think business has learned about digital business in these times of COVID?
The future of digital business has to be based on flows versus silos. In a world where the new currencies are speed, personalization, intelligence, trust, holistic success, this is a lesson in biology. So a shift from silo mentality that governs how we operate as individuals and businesses to a flow mentality. Future of digital business is more like living systems, which are all flow-based and designed to circulate and share resources. So in business, we have to think very much like, how do we capture insights with the purpose of co-creating value at the speed of need? The lesson in 2020 for some of us who are privileged, I would say, is a realization that work is no longer a place. You have companies now that have announced that their employees don't have to ever come back to the office. They can work from home forever. Some Silicon Valley technology companies have already stated that. How you engage with customers, what you and I are doing right now, you can imagine sales professionals having to conduct business where they're not meeting the customer, they're not at lunch, they're not at a networking event, they're not at a golf course. They're conducting business purely in a digital format. And we as human beings, we establish trust. Our sense and response mechanism are based on physical interaction. So to be able to achieve trust, that's a lesson that we're all learning in this pure digital format.
Would it be fair to say that in these grave economic times, digital emerges as the winner?
I think every business will be a digital business. Last month in April, for the first time ever in the US, there was more online groceries purchased than in person. So you will see, for example, e-commerce, digital commerce, which last year was only 16% of total commerce. I believe that in the next 3 years, we'll see probably 50% of our commerce digital. So when I look at the most valuable companies in the world, market share, they're all, I think 8 of the top 10 are technology companies. And I would argue all of them are software technology companies with rich data underpinnings. So I would say if we fast forward to 2030, in my opinion, I'm not a futurist, but my opinion would be, if you look at the top 30, 40 most valuable companies in the world, they will all be technology companies. They will all be companies that have leveraged artificial intelligence, additive manufacturing, distributed ledger, and Internet of Things, quantum computing. For you to compete in a hyper-connected knowledge-sharing economy where speed and personalization are arguably the most important currencies, you have to have a strong technology underpinning.
What do you think consumers of digital business have learned, or digital business has learned about its consumers?
You know, if I was a startup founder pitching to you 11, 12 years ago, and I said, I have an idea. My idea is strangers getting into strangers' cars so they can go from point A to point B. Dominant logic at that time would have said, no stranger is going to get into a stranger's car. That's a $70 billion company now. Dominant logic may have been distant learning is decades away as a dominant form of educating our future. Telemedicine is 10 years away. So I think the lesson learned should be that we need to adopt, as educators, as consumers, as working professionals, we need to adopt a beginner's mindset. We need to recognize that the ability to learn, unlearn, relearn And to change yourself is a superpower.